What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Legacy cabinets are starting to find their way into customers' homes, and some of those design flaws that I pointed out months ago are starting to affect gameplay. And that's a problem. Let's check it out. Now, a month ago I talked about the two design flaws that I thought that were really going to hurt the legacy cabinets moving forward. And one of them was this recessed control panel that's, now it's between the two side panels instead of sitting on top of them. Now, Fishby's got a great shot here of his Capcom Legacy cabinet. He really showing off the fact that that's a good half-inch. That's exaggerated. I think it's a little bit more than what we actually thought. And you can see this is how it's mounted. So it actually requires more parts to mount the control panel this way. I'm not sure why. I think the other design was much better. It's a little more practical. Didn't require these extra parts. It's much more sturdy. But you can see he's really having an issue there. It's not comfortable at all. And he points out something else too that I didn't really think about, is that when you rest your hand there, you're going to start peeling that side artwork, because that's not true T-molding. That's another issue that's going to be a big problem that can't be fixed by a deck protector. Now, sadly, the Capcom and Midway legacy cabinets are going to be affected by this. They both share that same design. The Atari and the Namco will not. So that's if you're going to go with any of these legacy cabinets, maybe go with those two. Sad, because these are really beautiful cabinets. Now, Everyday Eric was a little more vocal about his disappointment. Let's hear what he had to say.
It sucks. It's a terrible design.
That's not high praise, and it's a damn shame, because he seems to be really pumped about these cabinets. You see he's got a Pac-Man off to the left, so it sucks. It's disappointing. But when something affects gameplay like that, I think it's a really big problem. That is part of the actual experience of gaming. It's like having a bad TV when you're a big movie buff. You're watching movies. That's the main way that you interact with your media, and it's frustrating because it's really unnecessary. They had a good design going forward. If they wanted to mimic that, that side silhouette, they could have still done that with that recessed marquee and kept the control panel on top. I think that really, and this is sad to say, but I think this was all aesthetics. This was all form versus function. They didn't want to break that T-molding to keep that look, which the look is great, but this is not practical. We all understand as fans of this that this is a compromise from a full one-to-one version of this arcade machine. So knowing that and understanding that, you have to make those concessions so that the player experience is not destroyed or hindered in any way. Let's take a look at that original design to see what I mean. See, I understand this is not the original shape, but this control panel just made sense. And I never had a problem with their control panels, other than them being too small, but that's just sort of, you're stuck with that. And I think we all knew that and accepted it. And some of the real benefits of the legacy cabinets are things like the side art for the Mortal Kombat second gen cabinet was so kind of muted. The colors pop on these new legacy cabinets. And obviously the shape, not a lot of people were a big fan of this shape. It's kind of generic. So there were improvements that could have been made that wouldn't have affected gameplay. I mean, if you take a look at this picture here, no one plays like that. I mean, maybe some people do. I don't want to say no one, but most people play like you've seen in those videos. I play the same way, where I rest my hand, on the control deck, and then I use the joystick. This is not the way I play. If you play that way, let me know in the comment section below. So it's kind of a damn shame. I'm still waiting for my Midway legacy cabinet to come in. I'm a victim of the pre-order debacles as much as anyone else. So I'll let you know as soon as I get that in, and then I will give you my impressions. And I have a few ideas to resolve this. Short of building a new control panel, which I'm not opposed to. That's something that we may actually do on the channel. But anyway, let me know if any of you have your legacy cabinets at home. What do you think? Or if you think these claims are just exaggerated. So anyway, join me next time when we talk about turning a 4-player cabinet into a 2-player cabinet, and why in the world you would ever want to do that. Y'all have a blessed day, and I will see you next time.